Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. By using our link, you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. So, Naz, as a therapist on BetterHelp, what has your experience been like?
I've been doing it since January 2021, and it's been really fun and exciting. I've been able to reach clients all over the United States and the world. I've had good relationships. I've had folks that I've had for a couple months and a good handful where I've had for almost 2 years now. So it's magnificent. I've enjoyed my time and my clients. I love them.
Awesome. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel the most comfortable. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/DSP or choose Different Spectrums podcast during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Hey everybody, we back again.
We back? We back and we're live.
I'm Spencer, and of course we have our licensed clinical therapist, Naz.
Womp, womp, womp. Dr. Nas.
A disappointment there. Remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you.
There you go. Don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. All right. So as you can see, and as you heard, BetterHelp. You're officially sponsored by BetterHelp.
It's just
Go on to betterhelp.com/DSP to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal right there. Yeah, we're so happy to be part of the BetterHelp family.
The community.
Yeah, community. We'll say community. But yeah, we're very happy to do that. And the fact that Nas is already a therapist on BetterHelp even gives more validity to it. So happy to be here.
There you go.
Nothing to say? All right, cool.
Oh, I was going to do my talk afterwards.
No, go.
Yeah, no, it's magnificent. So a lot of you are going to see the ads for like the next month or so. This will be the first like talk that we're actually going to do about it. But super excited to be partnered with BetterHelp. You'll see it on different things. You'll see it on all the posts. You'll see it on our pages. You're going to see it before the videos. It's magnificent. As Spencer said, I've been working with them since 2001. That's in the commercial that's going to be seen before this. And I think
2001?
2021.
There you go.
Yeah.
2001.
21. 21.
21.
20. Like my whole body goes 20. No.
Okay. Anyways.
But a lot of people will talk shit about it and say like it's not a really good service, this and that. I thought it's been really good. Based on the amount you work and stuff like that, and then the pay, like I get paid decently compared to my regular job now. My clients are fantastic and awesome. I've been anywhere up to 15 clients at a time. And now we're like 2.5 years out, and I still maintain about 3 or 4 of them since day one. It's been a good experience. There's financial aid that you can get for it as well. It's not in the commercial that we talked about, but if you claim like hardship or financial issues, then your rate would probably drop down to like $60 per week. Most therapy out of pocket is going to cost you $100, $150, $200. So $60 a week for a therapist is pretty good, and you get really good access to them. So I think it's magnificent that we're doing it. I think it's awesome that Spence hustled it up. And I'm just glad that they're part of the family. And like, this brings real legitimacy. You know, we ain't just talking shit now. Like, we're legit therapists on here. We're doing work. So shout out to BetterHelp. Shout out to everyone that listens to the pod, because this would not be possible without you guys clicking and viewing.
Yes.
So
Totally.
they're part of the fam. If you need some help or support, remember you can go on there. Remember they got discounts too, proration, if you need it, because I know a lot of us ain't got money. It's not covered by most insurances, so it is out of pocket. So remember that.
Mhm.
But if you do have insurance, you can set the money aside in an HSA, a healthcare savings account, and then that's what most of my clients do, and then that's what they use for therapy for me. So just to keep that in mind for the tax breaks and initiatives, shit like that. But yeah, Spence, what we getting into today? What's the sauce, the butter, the jelly?
So the spice that we're going to be talking about today.
The spice. Oh, look how you tied it in. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mexicans.
See? There it is. See? Can do that. So today we are talking about the movie Flamin' Hot. Flamin' Hot, which follows the creator of Flaming Hot Cheetos and how he rose from, being a janitor, going to all these different places in Frito-Lay to finally being like in charge of, I believe, marketing
Yep.
for Frito-Lay. So we're going to be talking about that. Also, some other topics. We're going to be talking about mentorship. We're going to talk about being yourself and believing yourself. Yes.
I've got the high ground.
Yeah. Don't do it, Anakin. Don't do it.
I hate
Uh,
you.
Anyways, we're not going to be just talking about self. We're also going to be talking about other people around us that support us and help us get through some tough times, even though others might not believe in us. Yes.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk about pretty much shitty parents. Yeah, shitty parents. They're out there. They're out there. Not all of them are good. Not all of them are good.
No.
So, those are some of the topics that we'll be covering. We'll be covering a lot more, but those are some of the ones that we really wanted to get out of the way.
Yep.
But, Nas, anything before we get into the show?
Biggest time I'll probably end up spending time on, but you never know, right? Because this is unscripted. We're just kind of shooting at the hip, having fun, trying to teach. We're trying to theologize, pedagogy. Is the voices in our heads. And no, I'm not talking about schizophrenia. And no, I'm not talking about your child support. What I'm talking about is when you do an action or a move, when you look in the mirror, when you get up in the morning, when you got an assignment due, when you go into work, like what's the voice in your head? When you take a chance on something, what is the voice in your head? Is it one of love, support, comfort? I got this? Or is it, you're a piece of shit. You're not good enough. You're ugly. You're dumb. You're stupid. You're poor. You're nothing. So let's try and make that voice a better voice, because this last thing we need you to do is kick your own ass. Last thing we need to do is for you to re-traumatize yourself with that bullshit. So I'm gonna spend some time on that. I'm gonna try to do my best to like help some folks out today. And then, shout out to Latinos. Shout out to all my beaners out there.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
if I'm Mexican, I can say it. I can say it. When he's selling bean burritos out there, I'm like, this is so Mexican. He's like, we invented Taco Bell Mexicans. I was like, we did.
That's right.
Yeah.
All those white kids are just like, Spanish food. That's disgusting.
They're like, it's the first time I've ever had seasoning, and it's only beans.
You know what? We'll talk about after we do the clips, but there have been a lot of times in different movies and shows where it's like white people are like, "Oh my God, that type of food's disgusting," and everybody loves it.
Yep.
Like years later, it's
It
weird
just,
as shit.
white people hate everything.
Until they try it, and then they're like,
white people are like, you know what? We like the coloreds now. Oh, you do? You do.
Why do you think there's so many biracial children? Hello. Hello.
I want to say a Dave Chappelle thing. Everybody want to be us, but don't want to be us. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun too. Let's get into the show. Let's talk about despise. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
And by the time I was 10, I knew all I had in life was
El nombre montañés. Si les puedes enseñar de lo que es capaz un montañés, no te pueden decir nada, mijo. Que no se te olvide.
Sí, abuelo.
Yo soy montañés.
Soy montañés.
Soy montañés.
Soy montañés.
Sí eres.
was the best. See, I couldn't mess around. I needed to pull out the big guns. Los cohetes, baby. You want carnitas or asada?
Flank steak?
Asada?
Asada. Okay, what do you want?
I want to say that I respect your work, sir. That I respect that you're self-made, an engineer. I want to learn from you. My father ain't worth nothing, but he taught me a lot about fixing stuff as a kid. So I got to think for machines. Like when I learn them and fix them and run them, it makes me feel like, I don't know, like I ain't a nobody. Maybe even like I am a somebody.
Somebody that gives out respect to people he's barely met. They haven't even earned it. Because I ain't that kind of somebody.
Dang. If I was gonna learn anything here, it was gonna be from this guy. But he was shut up tighter than a jar of Chipotles. Right.
You got some salsa or what?
Yeah.
So what we talking? Spicy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful with that one. Clarence C. Baker. He was respected and smart as hell. And get this, his middle name really was Charisma. All right, I got your machine all shiny, Mr. Baker. What you think?
You missed the dent.
What?
No lo toques. Hey, G.
Hey, Mr. Baker, sir. I was reviewing the extruder protocols, and it looks like this gauge is off. You want me to adjust it? I know how.
No. This gauge ain't off. That's been Alejandro touching my dang machine again. Thanks.
Hey, Clarence, some of these ships are looking kind of overcooked. Should the heat be adjusted?
No, brown ones are separated and then tossed.
They just trash them? Dang. People always try to throw away the brown ones.
Martinez! Missed the spot.
Watch yourself, Carson.
I'm always missing a spot.
Hey, leave it. Come with me. Stand right there. And listen. Gasket's loose in Station 7. That's all I gotta do is listen. I can tell you which machine, belt, drum, valve, or motor that's off, all by keeping my mouth shut and listening.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you will when I'm done with you. You ain't a nobody, son.
It's a full-time job, mijo.
That's good. Full-time's good.
Like Pastor Marco said, after a year, you'll move on up. Ain't that right, Pastor?
Exacto.
Hey, boys, come on.
Y
Go
es
play over there.
posible que pague más, fíjate.
Y en un año podría ser mayordomo de mantenimiento.
So, I would go from being a janitor to being a janitor? And hopefully, si me pongo las pilas and I'm lucky, I'll go maybe be janitor-in-chief, president of the janitors, king of the janitors. Nah, I'm good. I think I'll stick with Frito-Lay. We'll have a real future. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Hey, Vacho?
Don't be stupid, mijo. They don't believe you or care about you.
And you do? All that ever comes out of your mouth is what an idiot I am. That I ain't worth shit, I can't do nothing right. You expect me to trust you when you say God believes in me?
He does.
According to the book of Vacho.
No me hables así. You respect me in front of my company.
Respect you! Hey, check it out, Pastor. I bet you didn't know that he beat the shit out of me my whole life. But it doesn't bother me, because I got thick skin and a hard skull. You know what really sucks, Papa? Is that I hear your voice in my head beating my brain every day. And for some reason, that's the beating I can't get up from.
I'm just trying to help.
Hey, baby.
It's getting so bad, your wife is looking for help behind your back. She's lost all faith in you.
Hey! You do not speak for me, Vacho, and you sure as hell don't speak for God. Richard, look at me. I did not say that I didn't have faith in you. I know what Richard is, and I know what he isn't. Not educated, sure, but he is the smartest person that I know. He already knows God. You want to save someone? Save yourself. And then you come to him when you're the father that he needs. Come on, baby. We're gonna go put my voice in your head. Come on, kids, we're leaving. Let's go.
I don't want to go.
Come on, just go. Let's go, guys. Get in the car. Hey, if we're gonna make those güeritos sweat, we're gonna get the good stuff. Baby, what are you doing up?
I gotta find a way to stop Enrico from coming.
Stop him.
Mm-hmm.
No, what are you doing? Come on, get up, come on. Come, look at yourself. Look, you see that guy right there?
Oh, that Wapo right there? Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, you do? You see a good man? A special man? Because, baby, that's what I see. I see a chingon, a montañez.
Yo soy montañés.
Soy montañez. They're scared. Scared of what you can do for them. Scared that they've been begging for help and they got a broke Mexican kid from Huasti as their hero. They don't know what to do with that. Baby, do you know what I've been praying for all these years? That you would see the gifts and talents that you have. Baby, use your gifts. Be great. Enrico is coming to hear you speak. Do not let these sinvergüenzas stop you.
I don't even know how to do a sales presentation.
Well, guess what? We're gonna find out. Now, come on, let's go to bed.
You want to survive this crazy world? Get yourself a Jew.
So, where is Richard? I'd like to speak to him.
Sure. Richard! I'm here!
The infamous Richard Montañez. What an honor to meet you, Richard. Are you ready?
A huevo. I've been ready.
All right.
All right. Judy says I exaggerate this part a lot. I guess it was a little bit more like this. I'm here! Here! Pardon me.
Hey, watch out.
All right. Excuse me, guys. Just need to get right there. Thank you so much.
So nice to meet you. Are you ready, Richard?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Anytime you're ready, Richard.
The growing number of Latinos in America represents a vast untapped market for Frito-Lay. Did you know that there are more Latinos in the United States than in Australia?
Of course there are.
No, that's not what I meant. That did you know that there are more Latinos in the United States than there are Australians in Australia. Pretty sure there's more Mexicans in this room than there are in Australia. Clarence, can you get the light, please? Listen, gentlemen, no offense, but our shelves are boring. My people, they're tired of the same old flavors. It's like I grew up with a lot of flavors, and I've been searching for that taste in everything I buy ever since. I want a food that tastes like home. This is it. Everything I grew up with, in a bag. Chile chips. And if you put this out there, you'll see that there's this whole market that no one else is paying attention to. Us, la gente.
And what about market share? How much would your product yield, according to you?
What the F is market share? That wasn't in the books? Or maybe it was. There was a lot of books. This much market share. You know what? I don't know what market share is. Because I don't sit up in no corporate office wearing a suit. Like, I'm down here with mi gente. And here's what I know about them. They're looking for themselves on those shelves. They want to know that the food that they eat at home is valued by you, that we matter. I want to know that I matter when I pick up one of our products. To you, to this company, to the world. So put this chili slurry on Doritos, Fritos, popcorn, anything. Because at the end of the day, it's how we make them feel. If we knew that there was a product out there for us, we'd say, take all our money, cabrones. Ooh. I got a little hood there at the end, but...
Gentlemen, did you know we could get this much more market share? Did you? Thank you, Richard. You have given us a lot to think about here.
Sir, I got some more graphs and stuff that I can show you.
Sir, R&D already has a spicy product in the Midwest, and it's testing just fine.
Just fine. I aim to do better than just fine, James. Have McCormick send the spicy seasonings here. I have a good feeling about this man. He may not know about market trends, but he knows about people, and that's where I always put my money. Let's see what he can do with it.
Sir, the resources required for it to pivot
James,
quickly.
Looks like you have some work to do.
We want to finish.
Hey everyone, I wanted to give a special shout out to our collaborator, Two Nerds Candle Company. Not only do they have great products, but they are also giving back to a great cause. You can tell that they take a lot of pride in making their candles. My favorite is Spock's Monday Coffee. They are also donating 10% annually to support Women in STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. You can use our code DSP or go to our link tree to get 20% off your entire order. We think that this company is great, and we think you will too. So go check them out. And we back again.
We back. I just snorted. And we're live.
Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Hello.
Hello there. So let's just get into this. We're talking about chicken. All right. We just started talking about chicken. I can't get over this. All right.
Question. Why don't white folk like seasoning?
Apparently they really don't. They really don't.
They don't know where it's at in the supermarket? Like they get lost.
No, they're like, oh, I don't want to go down that section. It's a little too dark over there, if you know what I mean.
You'll see a black woman over there, like, well, we don't go over there.
This is that international section. We don't go over there.
If you don't get your old lemon chicken eating ass.
Lemon chicken.
Hey, when homegirl, he was like, who the fuck is Cool Ranch Doritos? White lady grabs a bag.
I love these. These are the best.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. Like, Colin just got done talking about how he went over to a friend's house. And he's like, that was the nastiest, plainest Easter dinner I've ever fucking ate. He's like, them motherfuckers made mashed potatoes, like no butter, no salt, no pepper, no milk. Like they just made straight up. Colin said it was just potatoes. He said it was like
I love
chop.
potatoes.
I love potatoes.
Bro, I love potatoes. If you serve me some potatoes without butter or even like some milk in it,
bro, they served that man like a fucking russet.
That's pure starch.
They served that man a motherfucking. They served his ass a motherfucking loofah.
They literally are treating them like horses. Like that's what you give horses.
I know. And he said they had chicken and ham. I said, how you fuck up a ham? Like, he said, I don't know, man. That shit tasted like vinegar. I'm like, how you fuck up ham?
Who puts vinegar? Vinegar on their ham?
I don't know, man. Like, I said, Colin, ain't no one in that white ass family got high blood pressure. He said, nope.
They're all healthy and living strong.
That's when you know you're about to get divorced. Is when there ain't no seasoning on the food. Like,
what is this?
Fuck this guy. Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
We're gonna get right back, to being racist as shit. But I went into work the other day, and Spencer knows about this. I was hurting. I was hurting, and it wasn't about. This is a funny one. And Dad made this badass spaghetti dinner, man. It was awesome. The meatballs, I'm tearing it up. And by the time I got to like the third bowl, like I'm like the panda from fucking Kung Fu Panda, just eating it. Po. I realized that it was just slathered in like jalapenos and I went to work the next day like, oh, I'm fine. But I was like, damn, let me go to the bathroom real quick before I even went to work. It's like 8 a.m. I get to work like at 9:30. I'm like, damn. It's going to be a rough day. So then I see my client at 10 and then they kept talking. I'm like, you guys to go. They're like, is this our last session? You guys to go.
Leave this place.
My poop's like, you got the high ground.
I hate you.
Dude, I almost started crying. I had to text Spencer for emotional support.
I'm not gonna make it, man.
I'm not. Hey, remember the podcast time delayed.
Oh my God.
I went and talked to the nurse practitioner afterwards. I said, you got anything? I said, this is my 5th crap at work. I come home and I tell my dad, you son of a bitch.
You, for some reason, you keep on eating spicy food,
bruh,
and you don't. Your body does not work with it at all.
At all.
When we were on our East Coast trip.
Nope.
And you had that spicy mustard.
Died.
You died.
Died.
Dude. And you kept on you stopped after a minute, but you kept on trying to see if it was
it's the mustard.
Spicy mustard, that was it.
The chilies.
And you kept on going to the bathroom.
Full Mexican, man. I can't be Mexican. Shit, I had a Chick-fil-A spicy patty yesterday. I died today.
What?
Died.
Thankfully, you did not buy any Flamin Hot Cheetos because I don't think you would have made it through this podcast.
So let's talk about these Flamin' Hots. And I love the cultures, love the spices, but motherfuckers, these Flamin' Hots, they'll get you. We don't even want to talk about Indian fucking curry. I can't even. I literally died. I lost like 30 pounds.
I'll be real. I did not really eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos when I was younger. I just loved the regular crunchy Cheetos. And I started getting into them more when I was older. I was like, oh shit, these are actually really good.
I know, you racist.
Hey, you know what? I keep them down.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
But yeah. And me and my mom actually watched this movie together.
Okay.
And She actually really loved it too. She grew up or she didn't grow up, but she, lived a lot of her life in California with my dad. And so they know all about, just like being in like these neighborhoods, especially with like the lowriders and shit, with all the custom cars and everything. Um, yeah, and it's a really true testament for this movie, especially for the fact that Richard Montañez actually got to retire from Frito-Lay, successful, and I would probably say a happy man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He was actually in the movie at the like the last part of the movie. He was actually in it, the real Richard.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah,
It's pretty cool, man.
it is.
I didn't realize that he was like legit for real, like big time in marketing and creating all these different flavors and spices and like Mexican American. And it was a magnificent story. Real quick, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I might be mixing this up, but homeboy that plays Clarence, did he pass away? I feel like he passed away.
Yeah.
The Allstate guy?
Let me just make sure, just in case.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this in the beginning.
He's not dead. Let me see here. Give me 1 second.
Sorry, everyone. I just wanted to look this up. We don't edit this, so this is going to be in here.
No, he's still
okay.
going.
Good.
Yeah,
still
going strong.
But
because
go ahead.
We've been losing
I know
a lot of great actors.
Yeah,
especially black actors. We've been losing a lot of them. So
yeah. But now we finally get to talk about Misk.
Finally, we never do.
We never talk about them. We're the biggest majority in America. And then we can't
love talking about white people.
White people, black people. Black people, yeah, we talk about black, oh, yeah, no black person. And then oh, yeah, Mexicans too. Yep, hey, we're here. Si se puede. Means yes, we can.
Si
se puede. I think I said it right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge you.
But so do you eat Flamin' Hots now? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Totally. Especially after watching this, I was like, oh shit, it was really good marketing for this movie.
It was.
I want to go get some Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
I know, I'm gonna get Flamin' Hot Cheetos and some baby wipes.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely was in the bathroom a little too long after eating those. Get that grumble. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Excuse me, Papa.
My body can't handle any other race, apparently.
That's internalized racism for you.
Get out.
Get out, you mother. Build a wall. Yep.
Hot Cheetos. Okay. Anyways.
Yes.
So first scene that we watched is with Clarence, right? At this point, Richard, he's working at Frito-Lay as a janitor, and he wants more. He wants more out of his life. And so he wants to go talk to Clarence and ask him if he can kind of be his mentor and show him the ropes of like the machines and everything like that. And the scene that we didn't show was actually before, when his friends and the other custodians pretty much tell him like stay away from him. Like you're not supposed to talk to anybody who's like above you.
Yep.
Like you're only supposed to stay in your lane. That's about it. Thankfully for Richard, he did not do that. And actually, like he did before in the beginning of the movie, he used his heritage, right? Used the food to get in with other people, right? So with Clarence, he gave him some enchiladas, some frijoles.
Jesus.
No, all right. Well, hey, I thought I had to put a little spice on it. My tongue don't work. Yeah.
Look at that magic tongue.
That's dumb. She knows. All right. Anyways.
I didn't know we were having beef today.
He's gonna hate that so much. Anyways, she's a happy woman. Anyways, so uses his food to get in with Clarence, and then Clarence starts slowly teaching him how it is. I'm trying to move on here. You're just giggling. Tries to teach him the ropes of like all the machinery and everything like that. And then as a person of color, Clarence sees how Richard is being treated also at the plant, how he's being disrespected. By the white cohorts, co-workers, as they say. Yes, of course. Hey, pick this up. Like, I've seen this before. Um, but I think Clarence also kind of sees himself in Richard, because he's been kept at the same level for a long time in his career, where other people have been moved up a lot quicker than him, even though Clarence seems to know all of his shit, right? Like he's really good at what he does. And so finally, Clarence kind of teaches Richard everything, and we see now Richard's finally getting a lot more success. He's Employee of the Month. He takes time out of his day to learn all of this stuff because he's so determined for what he wants to do. And it's a great story. So when we talk about mentorship, obviously we've talked about it with you a lot when it comes to like your mentorship and all of the, women of color that have helped you out. A lot of people in general have just helped you out, not just women of color.
Yeah.
But when you watch this scene, do you take what you've learned and just pass that along to the people that you mentor as well?
So it's about gatekeeping. You get this information and sorry, but systemically, culturally, we see a lot of white folks that will gatekeep. Doesn't matter what race is when people got something, they're afraid of losing it or people like leapfrogging them. With me, I'm trying to bring as many people as I can up the ladder, right? I'm extending a hand. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not kicking people back down the ladder. And so that's when I see this scene, I'm thinking about is mentorship, but also allowing people to come up with me. And right, these other people keep shutting them down, and they could, he could easily talk to them. They could talk to him. They could show him some time. He goes in that one meeting where the guy's the boss. He's like, "No, get out of here, man. You can't read. You ain't got no diploma." He's like, "Man, I got a PhD. I'm poor. I'm hungry, and I'm determined." Hey, shit. I mean, Jesus. I guess I had a PhD. I didn't even know. Poor, hungry, and determined. That's how you put a lot of immigrants into this category, where we see them as like a lot of horrible things, especially now, but always, not now, always. And so I think the biggest part of this scene is determined. He is determined to go get his money, to go get his mentorship. He is determined to make his life better because he's poor and he doesn't want to stay poor. And he wants to help out his wife, and he got out of them gangs and all that crazy shit. He's trying to do something. And so this is magnificent. I hope other people can learn from this. Is you got to go get it. And people just be like, it'll come to me. The job or the internship, my husband. Like, nah, man, they ain't my wife. They ain't coming to you. You got to go find that good person. Friends. The right job will come along. You got to go apply for that goddamn job. You got to go get it. And someone commented on our YouTube, because it's been blowing up lately. Shout out to our YouTube. Folks, go over there, click on the link below, so like and subscribe. But people commented on depression and how like it's a mindset. And I don't fully agree with that, but it's a mindset when it's talking about overcoming the depression and seeking help for it. I much respect for Montañez and him going out and getting this dude that's also a fellow black dude. And he probably knew he could play off of that, right? Because it's all white dudes. He sees them shitting on him. Clarence is respected by everyone. He's also feared by everyone.
Right.
And yet his ass goes right up to him like, hey, man, You're teaching me.
Well, I mean, he's been on the streets.
Yeah. The fuck does he care about some protocol?
No. I think he was like, no, this is the easy. This is the easy part, right? Even though in the later scene that we see him where he's actually doing like the meeting / interview,
Chokes.
he's nervous because he's entering a world that's brand new to him. Because in street, like, you don't have to be like book educated to do that. You don't. You can be street educated, which is a whole other thing, right? Which it comes out at the end. But once you try to like put that mask on of being like someone else you're not, a lot of people can see through it.
Yep.
They can see through it, and then they don't give you the attention that you should. And then once you start actually becoming himself and just making sure that you could even see the way he was talking, like he took out a lot of like his Spanish like accent in there as well, because he wanted to fit in a little bit more while he was reading his cue cards. But yeah,
we'll get into that some more when we show the scene, or technically when we talk about it, but it leads right into when he's talking to Clarence and like, hey, Clarence takes him under his wing. Because he's from the street and because he's seen, like, can't read, no degree and all this shit, right? We're not going to get into the dad shit yet. He thinks about himself in a certain way. And he says, hey, man, I'm somebody. I feel like I'm somebody when I fix things. So a lot of you that are different, neurodivergent, autistic, you're good at this and that. Maybe you're not good at spelling like I was, or I wasn't good at reading either, right? Wasn't good at a lot of shit. There's a couple things I'm good at. And clients would come to me all the time. I'm average at this, and this. I was just recently talking to a kid. I said, man, you got the shit. When it comes to personality, like, my personality sucks. This is our last therapy session, so I'm going to just tell you to shut the fuck up. Straight up said that. Now that we're concluded and you're getting ready to graduate, I'm telling you now, you're magnificent. And I know that makes you want to cry because you're not ready to hear that because you don't think it's true. It feels invalidating because I'm saying you got the sauce, but you got it. And you need to go make friends. How do you know I ain't got no friends? Well, you haven't talked about it, but you want to sit with me for probably 3-4 hours, I can tell. So that means that you're starving. You're starving. And this Montañez was starving. And so Clarence sees something in him, sees him being real, Spence, being authentic, wanting to talk, wanting to learn. People love that shit.
Yeah.
Authenticity, right? And he's like, you know what? You're somebody. And I'm going to fucking show you.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you're somebody. To me, that gave me goosebumps in that moment. Because it was also like a Star Wars moment. It's like a therapy moment. It's like, man, listen, reach out. Ain't nothing there. Reach further. Feel like a breast.
Wait a minute. I know that feeling.
Wait a minute.
Supple.
What's this? I went to a Colts game and they have people like feel and see what it is. Besides the point. Yeah, super gross. But you're somebody. And I think that's what I wanted people to understand in this. All of us are somebody. You know, that you might be able to do this, and that, but you can do this, and this.
Right.
And find out what that something is. Find out other people that like that something, and then just start making connections in communities based on that. Because others will see you as different, awkward, weird. And that othering is what will kill you, will make you depressed and suicidal. And so this is a wonderful thing here. It's not necessarily just the mentorship, because we talk about that a lot. It's finding people with commonalities. And he found this engineer.
Yeah.
A brown engineer. Jesus.
No, you got lucky with that one.
Really fucking lucky. Really lucky. And I it was fine that Clarence was kind of an asshole too, because he's been fucked over his whole life being a black engineer. So like, I understood it.
Yeah. And then also, you know, he doesn't want to, I guess, waste his time in a way to somebody who may not be like serious about this, you know? So
some other janitor just talking shit.
Yeah.
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 Go get your happiness, folks. Go get your teachings, your learning. Go get your community. Reach out, and you know, grab whatever it is. You know, you gotta grab. Whatever it is, you gotta, you know.
What? You ever grab him like you never touched him before?
You playing the bongos? It's awesome. Okay. Let's get to the second scene.
Hashtag salsa. Anyway.
Hashtag Mexicans.
We going to the dance scene.
Of course, after that, I got daddy issues.
Okay. So Richard and his dad, Pacho, not on the best of terms.
No.
Father is very overbearing. We'll say that.
Drunk.
Overbearing. Dad also abusive in more ways than one. And we finally see that Richard always has to kind of keep it in and just take it throughout his whole life. He's kind of just like, all right, I'll let this go, let this go. But finally, once his dad suggests that he should be a janitor for the church, that kind of felt like the last straw, because he's pretty much saying, like, you're not doing anything here, even though he's getting those accolades from what he's doing already. Employee of the month, working hard. It's not like he's, just not doing anything.
Yep.
It's one of those scenes where it really hits a really high note, I think, because throughout the movie, it's mainly been a lot of like jokes and, comedy. But then we finally get to see Richard kind of explode in a way at his dad, because he's just finally had enough of him trying to get into his life, even though he's been such a negative part of his life. Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on the scene, Naz?
So it's too late to do it now, but trigger warning for that scene. Yeah, trigger warning for that scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a little bit, yeah.
A little too late. Gotcha. Gotcha.
You thought you'd have one. You did.
You thought you'd have panic, but well, it turns out you did. Damn Mexicans. That scene was magnificent and was horrifying at the same time. So, you're right. His dad was interesting. We talk about it in the beginning when they called him borracho, which means like drunk. So he comes home drunk home all the time, and abusive physically, mentally, emotionally towards the mother, towards the other children in the house, and the really hard working immigrants in the fields. Like, they're sweating, they're busting their ass. Dad gets drunk, comes home, beats the kids. It's really messed up. And so they're walking on eggshells, and you see him put all his stuff away. So he grew up like that all the time, grows up like that with all that abuse, that trauma, right? And a lot of us did. A lot of folks of color grow up like this. Me and Spencer have talked about in the Black community, but also in the brown community. And sometimes for protection, sometimes just parents are really abusive and terrible. So now his dad finds Jesus, and is trying to be better, this and that, but he's still calling his son a piece of shit, and like just being very emotionally abusive to him in front of his wife, in front of his children, all the time, just grinding him down to make sure he feels like nothing unless he converts and starts getting real close to God himself. So that's another horrible thing that he's continuing to do. So he finally says, yeah, I had enough. And he snaps. And he's like, man, fuck you. Because you're the biggest thing. He's trying to act like he's some holy guy in front of the preacher.
Right.
I mean, fuck, who do you think you are? I know who you are. You're an abuser. Yeah, does he know that? The preacher know that? You beat me my whole life? Yeah, does he know that, huh? No? That you're a drunk? And so this leads into him with that persona, that personality of just being hurt his whole life, being told he's nothing his whole life, being abused his whole life. So you're always in this anxious, fearful state, that paranoid that people are out to get you. Paranoid that you're not enough. Paranoid that you are dumb. Paranoid that if your father, this person that's supposed to gas you up and love you, is telling you that you suck, then maybe you do suck.
Right.
maybe if it's, this person, politicians, movies saying you suck. But he says it in the show. People call you a hoodlum enough, and then they arrest you for this or that. You get told you're a thug enough, and eventually you start to become it. And that's what I did. People call you a monster, so maybe I am. You heard my sister. I was acting like an asshole in that not in the pod, but in the past. And I just was just a very aggressive kid.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the things that come forward in the future with my issues. Besides the point. So this is why I want to do the talk is the voices in your head. And he's like, the biggest scars on my, I got these scars. I got thick skin and a hard skull because you beat the shit out of me. Jesus. As someone that's been through a ton of like physical abuse, Jesus. And then I went through nothing compared to my sister and my other brother. Like nothing. The horror stories that my dad would tell me. God, I thought mine was bad. Mine was nothing. And mine was bad. So sis, pretty awesome that she's a good person with her ma being who she was.
Yeah, she was great when she came on the show.
She's just a good person. She's just so nice and kind,
She is.
She just good peeps, man. You're never scared around her. Where like other people, you're like, oh shit.
Right.
So she got something in her too that made her good like that. Maybe it was some of Pop's that rubbed off too. But we talk about this physical abuse, this emotional abuse, and it's horrific, mind altering. And so a lot of my clients, doesn't matter what gender, doesn't matter what race. Got a lot of white kids that come in, and it's not always the physical stuff, Spence. A lot of it is the emotional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucked up thing is it still ain't stopped. They don't want to go home during spring break, during summer break. Why? Because the parents getting ready to abuse them, call them stupid, compare them to their siblings. They're dumb, they're worthless, you're not smart enough, you're getting C's in school, you're failing out.
Right.
And my kids are like, I don't want to go home. I was like, I know, motherfucker, you need to start doing your goddamn homework. They're like, I'm trying. I'm dumb, remember? I was like, I remember.
Hey, it's tough sometimes.
It is.
Homework is tough.
Tough.
Especially when I got video games. It's tough.
Video games, some of my kids are easily distracted, ADHD, anxiety, but keep this in mind. When you are abused like this, it messes up your brain, traumatizes your brain. You can't focus that well.
Right.
And then as soon as you run across any type of like hardship in your academics, then you kind of shut down, deregulate, and then you'll distract yourself with the video games or Instagram, TikTok. Because you emotionally deregulate, you start to hurt yourself, same thing, with those voices. The voices say you suck, so you're like, fuck it, we'll quit. And so, yeah, homework is tough, but some of us have a confidence and faith to get through it. Then the others are like, well, I'm a piece of shit, what's the point? So it's self-defeatist. It's really messed up. So it's still a thing, even with the white folks I work with. The international folks I work with is really tough because there's super, super high expectations. And if they don't meet them, then they are shit. I'm like, bro, you got 3.8. You're like, you good. No. No. What do you mean? No. Like, no. They check on me every day. Like, they track my shit. Like, I'm like, Jesus. So intense scene there. But he says the worst thing is the voices I hear in my head. Those are the fucking things beating me constantly. Every day, that's what I hear is you in there. I'm nothing. So that's why people go to therapy. That's why people get super depressed. That's why people have to get on anti-anxiety meds. I was talking to a young person the other day. I said, I need you to say, I have hope I don't get burned by the fire. So he says it. I said, replace that word with faith. Says, I have faith I don't get burned by the fire. I said, it sounded different, don't it? Word faith versus hope. He said, yeah, it does. I said, I need you to have faith in yourself, bastard. You got to have faith in yourself. Because you've done everything. You've gotten to where you need to be. Why are you so scared? So we do a lot of anxiety stuff, and because he feels small, and I have a lot of clients that feel small around white folks, a lot of folks of color. They're big CEOs, PhDs. They're smart as shit. They're some of the smartest fucking scientists in America. But when they get around certain folks, they shrink. Because there's that stigma that they're less than, that they're dumb, that they don't know anything, right? And And so those voices get in their head and then they freeze up. They go to that white room like we talked about on All the Murderers in the Building.
Yeah.
That white room's a son of a bitch. And so I'm like, how are you white? And you're the confident fucking kid I got. He said, not when it comes to this lady. Not when it comes to this lady. I was like, okay. So these voices, I need folks to identify which ones they are. Is it your parents? Is it a friend? Is it someone in society? Is it, who's that negative voice calling you? Your bully, like me and Spence had when we were younger. Which a lot of us that are different or watching this podcast had a bully. Who's the voice in your head telling you suck? Is it just yours, or is it words that you heard from someone else? Probably from someone else, because you weren't saying that shit when you were young. 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. You weren't saying you were stupid. Someone else told you a lie one day and you believed it. So, I'm going to ask Spence a question. When you see Judy's, I love me some Judy.
Uh-oh. No.
Judy, she said, you gonna hear my voice. I'm like, oh, get it, girl. Get it. We need more Judys in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Partner, friends, mentors, supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a fucking Judy. You can spread positivity and empowerment. When you've got an intern or someone that works under you, you don't have to shit all over them. That's why they always come to me, the interns. Even though I'm not their supervisor all the time, they come to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to shame them. And they also know if I play the role of the idiot at times, and I told one of my interns, I act like this on purpose so you get comfortable with me. So he's like, I know. I was like, I know you know. You're smart as shit. But if I act like some asshole is stick in the mud, you're not going to tell me anything. We're on the same level. But Spence, Judy's.
Yes.
You got a Judy that's in your head? Is it mom's? Is it Dom gassing you up? Is it me, Pops? Is it Jesus himself?
It's the Lord and Savior himself.
Christ is risen today, Spence. It's Easter Sunday.
Where are you at? Where are you at?
Where are you at?
Where are you at?
Christian folks, where are you at?
Make that a t-shirt. Where are you at? Yeah.
No, in this country, they built a wall so he couldn't get in.
He's just like knocking on it. Just like, let me in. No.
You've got schizophrenia, sir.
But I am him. No.
You're a cult leader.
Get back in the padded room, sir. Get back in there. Anyways, I think I have multiple people. It's not really just one, because I know, even though I know Dom will like step up and, somebody was like, coming at me or something like that, she definitely would be like, what? Just do that too. She would do that head thing too. What? But yeah, my mom always too. Y'all always help pick me up too. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not really one person. I'm lucky enough to have multiple people in my life that really want to see me succeed and also know that I'm a lot more than either I think I am or what others think I am. So
important sentence right there, people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just don't understand what we are, what our worth is. Even though we know. Spence knows, I know, but then it gets weird sometimes. You get lost in the woods. And sometimes it takes someone to be like, wait a minute, come over here, man. Let me talk to you. Let me breathe on you. And then sometimes that's all you need. Just a little reminder. Yeah, breathe on you. That's an old school term. You see some Cheetos, motherfucker? Yeah, hot ones.
Lay off of them. I got that hot breath like a dragon.
It's the power of God.
How to train your breath. God damn.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you just need that voice, that person, that Judy. Judy was awesome in this. Also, I really loved when he's talking to Judy, he gets her to breathe. 1, 2, and then all the kids breathe on 3. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But you got some Judies.
Yes, most definitely. What about you, Nas? You got some Judies?
Oh, I got plenty of Judies. Got plenty of voices in the
All the
head.
Judies.
All the Judies. Big booty Judy, all the Judies.
Judy from the block.
Judy from Jenny from the block. Instead of just talking about me, I often push clients, you know, you can listen to Pops. You can listen to Mom. You can listen to these assholes. Listen to them. Go ahead. Where'd they get you in the last 20 years? Maybe you listen to my fat ass. Maybe I know something that they don't. Maybe, because that shit ain't gotten you nowhere but into my office. So, you know, students will come back. God damn it, Nas. I say, well, what the business is?
What's the tea?
What's the tea, girl? And they said, I hear your goddamn voice. I said, was it good? Was it something stupid? Because I never know what the hell I said, you know.
More of the time, stupid. But you know what? They
You know.
each their own.
Well, you know, to each their own. My students be like, you did good.
Bobby.
I said, I did. I'm like, I heard your voice this week. Tell me when I was getting ready to like get real angry and like act out, get violent with someone. I heard your voice saying you can't risk this. You can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, they said Nas, when I was getting ready, I was depressed and I was getting ready to start drinking. And I remember what we talked about is don't drink when you're super depressed because it's going to make you more depressed. I heard your voice. Said, Nas, you know, I heard your voice and you'd be proud of me. I said, why is proud of you? I said, first of all, I'm always proud of you, asshole. But why do you think I'm proud of you? Because I set a boundary and I told someone no. Yeah. That one made me feel interesting. Besides the point. I always love when my students get really good with boundaries because a lot of my students are getting abused. A lot of my clients getting abused. Maybe always not physically, emotionally, maybe financially. You know, some horrifically, sometimes sexually. And we set boundaries. We learn to stand up for ourselves to make sure no one ever puts their foot on our necks ever again. Doesn't matter what it is. And so the biggest thing you can do for self-care is to tell people to piss off. That's what he tells his dad to do. He's like, man, fuck you, man. I don't need you. Who are you? You ain't no father. And then Judy goes, that's right. You go work on your shit with God. And then when you're ready to be a father, the one he actually needs, you can come talk to us. I tell it to my students all the time. I said, you ain't cutting your family. You ain't cutting your mom off. She cut herself off. She treats you better. She can come around.
Okay.
So boundaries is one thing that we all need to learn and to stop thinking that we deserve the abuse, the verbal abuse. Start listening to the other people that gas you up. Maybe start listening to the podcast. Maybe you got something in there that's worth, you know. And I know that you're different. I'm different. Me and Spence, me was a few minutes. You're like, them boys special. That one shitting in a diaper for sure.
And I'm done.
Yeah. I want to push this really hard in the podcast is you can't keep listening to those voices, the abusers in your life. You just can't. You can't. Listen to them Judys. Listen to us. You ain't got to believe all the shit I say, but hey, man, if I'm gassing you up, just go with it. What's it going to hurt? What's it going to hurt if you listen to me and Spence saying, hey, man, you got this? Try something different. Montañez. All right. Also, get me choked up real quick, but I'm good now. I don't like seeing people get hurt. And I'm so protective and angry. But I've had some people recently put their big boy pants on, big girl pants on, and tell people to fuck off.
No.
Makes me feel good. Makes you feel. Here's the last thing. If anyone ever tells you, don't tell your therapist about this. Don't tell your therapist. All you pieces of shit that say that, because you know we're gonna help them understand and call you out on your bullshit. It's funny because they know Nas ain't gonna play that shit. I'm gonna make sure my student protects himself. It's real funny. Don't tell your therapist. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You stupid mother. Yeah, I feel, Spencer, can you imagine being one of my clients and then knowing that someone's
No.
fucking, but can you imagine though, like someone's like, they're hurting this kid, but now they're my client. Man, my client's getting ready to whip their ass.
Like, well, first of all, tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Real quick.
First of all,
Real quick.
we about to plant drugs on them and call the police.
Oh my God. I got some friends. They know people, all right?
Hey,
they know people that
you know, this is what we just call chili powder, motherfucker.
chili powder. Oregano.
This is what we call them Flamin Hot, motherfucker.
It's hot, all right.
It's hot.
Real hot. Hot in them streets.
Where that
That's
cocaine come from? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was powdered sugar.
Dude, I feel sorry for anyone that has to come up against me. The people that take advantage of my clients. I'm like, you're so unlucky. You're abusing my person. You're so unlucky because we getting ready to win.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Yep. Give me a month. We gonna win. Give me a month. Give me a month. I need 4 hours. I need 4 hours with them to whoop your ass. That's it. Oh, give me 4 good one. 4 good one.
You're just like Mike Tyson's coach. Fucking just whipping them into shape.
Whipping them into shape.
Becoming even more powerful than they were before.
I'm trying to tell you, motherfuckers biting ears. Anyone got a
I don't know if that was in his plan, but you know what?
It probably wasn't.
It worked.
He's pretty drugged out by then, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. His eyes were beating.
Where are we at? We're at his wife. So we're talking about, you can talk about it real quick, but Judy in the mirror.
Yes. So a little bit more backstory. Both Richard and Judy, they were both on the street. And once Judy got pregnant, she was like, "No, can't do this anymore. It's over. It's done. We have to set a better example for our children." And so now we hit to the point where Richard is about to present or do his interview with Roger Enrico, the head of PepsiCo and Frito-Lay. And so he's getting nervous and he's like, we might as well just cancel this now. We can't do this anymore. And of course, Judy comes in and she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude? No, we're gonna do this." And she just tells him right in the mirror, like, "Do you see this person I'm looking in the mirror?" And then he's like, "This fucking asshole over here?" She's like, "No, this amazing person that I love and amazing father." Great scene once again for having that supportive person on your side. Your Judy's. Right there to help you out throughout everything. And then also help them out to study and to also get dressed for the part instead of just being like, hey, hey. But yeah, which I think at the end of the day gave him that confidence to be himself in the meeting, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. So
I'm not even going to get into that long. You just did a good explanation of the whole scene, man, and what it meant. It's magnificent to have those people in your life. Shout out to all the magnificent women out there doing this, all the moms, all the sisters, siblings, right? Just everyone. Just shout out to all the women doing this and supporting, but also, dudes too. Shout out to everyone supporting someone and gassing them up in a good way. This reminds me of Cool Runnings. Look in the mirror, tell me what you see. He's like, "Nobody." He's like, nah. You a bad motherfucker. Don't take no shit from nobody.
Don't fucking do it.
I'm doing it. Hey, real quick, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They were like, he said, "You guys like 16 personalities or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, what about Frederick? The dude that grew up in slavery?" And he's like, "My name was Edward Dufresne."
Oh.
and he acts like
Dufresne.
Morgan Freeman from fucking Shawshank.
Oh my God.
He's like, "I don't want to do this. This is racist," but he had to do it.
He had to do it.
Cool Runnings, brother. Shout out. We got to do that clip.
Cool Runnings. Shout out to Cool Runnings.
Shout out to fucking
Shout out to the Jamaican bobsledding team.
Yeah, shout out to Jamaicans figuring it out.
Figuring it out. They figured out bobsledding. Yeah.
I was about to say Nigerians.
Oh my god.
It's one of them.
That would have been so bad.
I just said
completely different.
That's what I'm saying. Uh-oh.
What's the difference? Uh-oh.
Ain't no difference.
Oh my god.
I don't see borders. No, I don't see color either.
They look the same, but I don't see color.
I don't see borders. Just a magnificent scene with Judy, man. So much love. Spread the love. Empower people. Empower. Be there. Be there. You don't even have to say shit. Just show up. Be there. All you have to do is a loved one, is a friend, is a confidant, is a consigliere. Show up. It's that simple, folks. If you're autistic and you don't have the words, ADHD and you don't have the words, traumatized, or just a fucking, I don't know, just as confused as they are, just show up. Be a Judy. Not a Karen, but a Judy.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Not a Lizzo.
Oh my god.
No.
Thank God. I was like, as soon as she said she quit, I was like, thank God. Thank God. She's a horrible person.
From what they've said, yeah, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, allegedly. Sorry, allegedly.
Yeah.
She's a horrible person.
Yeah, from what they said, it doesn't sound good. So
no.
Looks like a lot of famous people are actually quite trash. So
yeah.
Hey, if we ever make it big, folks, we're not going to be complete trash because we're already trash.
Yeah, we'll be, we'll sign some autographs, but half of them.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them.
Real quick, and then we'll get into the last scene and we'll talk. I had a lot of students go to the Comic-Con in Indy, and I was going to go to it, and then of course I forgot.
Check it.
Hayden Christensen was there, and I forgot her name. Dawson, the Ahsoka was there. What's her name?
Oh, Rachel Dawson. No, not Rachel Dawson.
No, something. But she was there, from the main actress from all these Disney movies, Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
My student said Hayden was so fucking awesome. Said they waited 3 hours in line. He spent so much more time just talk to people than anyone else. They said it was magnificent. They said he's the fucking nice dude I've ever met.
He's such a nice guy, and he got just so shitted on in the early 2000s.
He did.
For playing Anakin, and now he's praised for it.
Yep.
And now he's like, I'm so happy to be Anakin, and you're like, this is amazing.
This dude's awesome.
I'm glad that people finally realized how like good he was and how much effort he put into playing that role, because he genuinely seems like a really, really nice guy. So
hopefully
shout out to Hayden.
Shout out to Hayden Christensen. Hopefully Spencer can find this and clip this out. Magnificent the way you treated my students, the way they got to spend time with you, talk to you. They loved it. And you have no idea how much they loved it. So shout out to Hayden. Yes. And a lot of other folks did not give them the time of day like you did at that thing. They said I'm sure you were tired, so they're very thankful.
Yeah.
So you can still be a good person and have like money and be famous. You can. Money doesn't make you a piece of shit. That you chose to be that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boss. Let's do this last scene. Let's have some fun shit talking. Let's talk about when the hood comes out and you let me stop.
All right, so this is finally the last scene I was talking about earlier, where he finally has the meeting with Roger Enrico, and he's the head guy for PepsiCo and Frito-Lay, the main guy. And so before this, Richard actually sent him a little sample of the red hot or flaming hot Cheetos, and he loved them. He even had like the red on his fingers from eating them, and he was enjoying them a lot. He loved it, right? I love the fact that he got Tony Shalhoub to actually play him, because I love him as Monk and every other type of role that he's had. But Other than that, so Richard's obviously very nervous, and he goes through his head like, "Oh yeah, when I was walking by, everybody was clapping and doing everything, and they were so proud and they're ready to talk, and I had this like, you know, had this confidence to talk to the head of PepsiCo." And then in reality, he didn't. He was just as nervous as of course, as someone would be talking to a head of a company that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Does pretty well for itself. Um, but once Richard starts his presentation, you can see that he was nervous, and then also that he was trying to play a role that he wasn't, that he just wasn't. That's not him.
Yep.
He was trying to play this guy who's like, oh, yeah, look at these numbers and all this. Like, no. And then he snapped out of it, and he finally went into his hustling side in a way, right? What started him out in when he was in school and how he got money in the first place, hustling and then just being himself. Um, we can also see that he starts even speaking Spanish again instead of just being like, yes, yes, well, these numbers, you can go here. It's like they already have those people around him. He doesn't need another person being like that towards him that give him numbers and tells him how that is. Richard is actually being the voice of his people at this time, right? He's telling him, hey, these people want this on the shelf because they finally want to be represented on the shelf, right? It's a little thing, and it comes off for some people, it might come off as like bad in a way, just being like, oh, what? Like we just are condensed down to a chip.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're actually having representation into something. You're having somebody from your community actually bringing something to the plate that everyone else can enjoy too.
Yep.
And we finally see that he gets his swag back, a little bit of hood, right? A little bit of that sass. Gets a little bit of jokes in too. Everybody loves some jokes in a meeting.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're very dry and very unfunny. And so he finally gets it, and I think Roger really sees what Richard's really kind of showing him, and it comes off as genuine, and it comes off as him being a voice for his people. Finally, yes.
Yep. Great breakdown. A lot of input there. Talks about mi gente. So mi gente is my family, my community. So you can act like others and you're going to sound like the others, but then most likely you don't have the swag or the education, the words, the verbiage, the nomenclature to do what the others do. You say, how much market share? And he said, this much. It's like, I don't fucking know. That white guy was trying to punk him. It's always these white guys trying to punk you. It's always someone trying to punk you. Yeah.
Fucking hair, dude. Yeah.
Always someone trying to punk you, and I go on these interviews and it's always someone trying to punk you. And someone did too, and the big one I was in too. And then so I said, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna punk you right back. I ain't scared of you, boy. Yeah. I said, what's wrong with your face? So, yeah. And he said, well, I'm thinking about this, and this. I said, okay. Well, fix your fucking face because we're in a professional interview and I demand respect. I wanted to say that. I said it in different words.
Right.
Still was taken the wrong way. I know it. Afterwards, I apologize. I said, I'm sorry if I caught you off guard there, brother. But I just want to make sure you were engaged with the conversation and it looked like you weren't paying attention. So, people always trying to punk you, man. And I'm at the stage, ain't no one punking me. Ain't no one making me suck and jive. I ain't bending the knee for no one. I will bend over backwards for you, but I'm not bending down for no one. Difference. I will help you out. But you ain't better than me now. I ain't better than you. So you get this magnificent scene where, you're visualizing it. What you're going to do, what you're going to say, right? I'm already prepping Spencer for a interview right now, prepping in the gym. That's not even going to happen for another 60 days. 60 days. And I'm already prepping in the gym, fucking losing my mind. you know what? I'm about to go full autistic too, and I'm gonna do a hell of an ending spiel because I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
I'm saying, you know what? You might find someone better degree. Maybe you'll find someone a little bit more sports psychology. Maybe they work with a few more professional athletes than me, you know. Maybe they'll be shined up on paper. They don't have what I have. It would be a shame to allow someone else to work with these students because what I can do for them in their minds, their sport, their profession, their families. Rarely anytime can someone beat me out on connecting with other humans in other communities and also demand respect, but also be loving, kind, and supportive. Very rarely can people talk and articulate like me to make sure that everyone feels comfortable, not just the few with money, not just the few with clout, but everyone from the bottom up. No one will treat any of my students poorly in front of me. And I will teach them to make sure they never get treated poorly in the future. And I'm going to leave them kind of with that. I'm going to leave them with, you know, I ain't scared of no one. These meetings really aren't that scared. I'm going to show a lot of passion and talk because, you know, I haven't flinched when a gun was pointed at me and it's trying to hurt my family. Or when police was pointed at me with a gun, I didn't flinch. I sure as hell ain't gonna flinch just in front of a bunch of white folk. I didn't flinch when my students are psychotic and they coming at me with a fucking golf club. That was an interesting one. Good kid though. I love that boy.
Hey, you know, sometimes you gotta go clubbing.
Well, you know, sometimes you know you do too much meth and
about that.
Sometimes you do too much meth and it'll fuck you up, and then you end up being psychotic and trying to attack people at a club.
Yeah, that does it.
Yeah, I do it. Yep.
Yeah.
I do it. Good boy though. So I'm already planning these things out, and you know, I'm in my brain, and you know, I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. And then when I show up, you know, I start to fumble on my words, and I'll be like, well, you know what, you know,
nom. You
know,
just start doing nom.
It's all about the ass. I'm like, what?
I love playing Fortnite.
You know,
this is a professional interview, sir.
Professional interview. I looked at the kid, the redhead, and I said, you know what? I don't like him.
I know what's going on over there. It's not good.
You know, what's funny is, you know, I go to these interviews and I know people are watching and judging. I'm talking to janitors, chilling, vibing. I ain't talking to everyone on the meeting. I'm talking to everyone, not just the few in the committee. I'm like, no one does that shit, man. No one talks like I talk. Because I don't care, man. We're all people. I told this boy the other day, I don't give a shit who they are. I said, they eat food the same way you do, and they shit the same way you do. He starts laughing. He said, what? I said, yeah, I know. Most people say they put pants on the same way. Well, fuck that analogy.
They shit.
Just same way. Unless they shit standing up and they're just dribbling down the leg.
I mean, hey, there's probably some weirdos out there. Sorry all those shit standers.
We all shit.
Sorry, I'm impolite to you.
We all sit down and shit. No. And he just cracked up, man. And so be you, yes. Sprinkle in as much as you can. Remember to not always focus on this presentation, this masking, as we always talk about autism, ADHD, right? Code switching with people of color, with women, and to be more masculine and presentable. You still have to be always you. And maybe there's a seasoning of professionalism, aka whiteness. But for me, that whiteness is killing. It's suffocating. As we've seen in the Atlanta scene that we did a long time ago, is white folks don't even know they're dying from it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's killing all of us. It's professionalism. So I hope I get a real shot at this next big job and interview. Doesn't matter if it happens or not. I'll be fine and happy. Well, hopefully whiteness doesn't get in the way.
Here's my thing.
Go ahead.
Personally, and this might be bad advice for you. Might not be. I don't know. But I think at this point, it's like, just
I know.
Be you, man. It's like, and I know you do. I know you are. I know you are who you are, but it's just like, gosh, it's like you can only play the part so long. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, you changed, you switched up on us. It's like, no, always been this. It's just that I couldn't be that. I couldn't get to where I wanted to be unless I had to be what you wanted me to be. And I don't know. It sucks. It just sucks trying to be exactly what your bosses want you to be sometimes.
Yep.
And might get me in trouble saying this. But at the same time, I think that it's like you hired me for a reason. You say you like my personality, you like who I am. But then all of a sudden I'm being who I am and you see that as a negative. What am I supposed to do with that?
What am
What
I
am I
supposed
supposed
to
to
do?
do? Just be what you want? Then you should have hired somebody else. You should have let somebody else be in this role.
Yep.
Tired of it. Tired of being just someone you think I have to be.
They
I'm not
want
going to be exactly.
they want someone different, and then but everyone says that everyone wants something different. But then when they don't actually want someone different because that means change, and no one likes change. But we talk about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Man, that's just so bullshit, man. Everybody want to hire brown folks and on this. Let me pick these words. They're hiring folks that will assimilate very easily and not cause too much shit, right? Not a lot of folks are real change makers.
Right.
And hey, man, I suck and jive a little bit on some things, but I'm always getting to the point. And it's just a magnificent scene where he loses himself and then loses his focus and thought and then gets back to business.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to let these folks punk him about being a high school dropout and brown in America.
Yeah.
And so we have to remember that as folks of color, also women that are out there, queer folk, remember, don't let nobody punk you. Maybe them folks are shinier and this and that, but they're interviewing you because of this. Do your shit, talk your game, stick to it. Because the other people are gonna beat you no matter what, and all that articulation and all the other shit. They're gonna outgrind you. So you gotta show some of that, the intelligence. You gotta show it, but then make sure you stick to the meat and potatoes that got you there. And so that's what me and Spencer are trying to do. We'll see what happens. I just think it's funny that I'm already 60 days out and I'm already planning things.
Starts in May.
Jesus, starts in May. I'm like already. I'm like already angry at them for not letting me get the job. Like, how?
I know. Why would you give me this now?
These motherfuckers.
Making me wait and shit.
So, the chilies. My man with this, right? We all got our own seasoning, our own flavor. I always wonder what those fucking chilies were when you go into the Mexican grocery store. Like, who the fuck uses those? Now you know.
Fresh them up.
Me and Spence always make jokes about being autistic, and my clients will ask me, well, what's the scale of autism? Is it really autistic, little autistic? And I said, me and Spence in the podcast always say one thing. Either you white folk chicken autistic, just a little bit, or you motherfucking deep fried, refried Kentucky fucking Memphis, Tennessee chicken.
And we always know the difference.
There's a difference. My student goes, I want to have fun and end with this, and hopefully you can find this as a clip, Spencer. She said, autism like in Dragon Ball. You got how many balls you got? You got all 7 Dragon Balls autistic, or you just got 1 or 2, one or two. And I said, that's some funny ass shit. I said, I love talking about balls now, so the ball game tight over here.
Shout out to Akira for making that reference.
Shout out to
actually be a thing.
Shout out to the Dragon Balls and how autistic you are on a Likert scale to 7. So always have that seasoning with you. Always bring your culture with you. Always bring your people with you. Your gente. Be you, folks. I'm good.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching our podcast today. Once again, go to betterhelp.com/DSP every fucking time. /DSP to get 10% off your first month of therapy. And once again, shout out to BetterHelp for letting us become part of the community.
Mi gente.
Mi gente. Anyways, I'm Spencer. That's Nas. Different Spectrums Podcast.
All right, people. Much love. And remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
It's completely up to you. Peace.